Hey everybody, my name is Paul Leston Jr., aka Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/BoyGreen25. And right off the top, Boy Green, the shackles are off, baby. I am back on Twitter at that very handle that you see scrolling on the ticker at BoyGreen25. So you can find all my Jets takes there. Also, when you're down in the YouTube description, you can see a full article on this very topic about the Jets potentially throwing a curveball in the first round of the 2023 NFL draft. Now, you, your brother, your grandmother, your cousin, your Gadna's sister's cousin's nephew believes the Jets will be taking an offensive lineman with the first pick in the first round for the New York Jets at 13th overall, but it's not necessarily a lock. Anything can happen, of course, in the draft. Sometimes Jet fans want this to happen, but something else happens. And Rich Cimini highlighted what that could be, saying a, quote, defensive curveball in round one. The name to remember is Nolan Smith out of Georgia. Interesting. He is 6'2", 238 pounds. He was listed as an edge player at the 2023 NFL Combine. Cimini says on paper the Jets don't need an edge player, but if somehow Smith is available, that could change their mind. Here's the quick skinny on Nolan Smith, and I'll tell you some of my concerns, some of my fears, and we'll kind of go in there. Smith is 22 years of age. He completed his fourth season for the Georgia football program, 38 career games, 12 and a half sacks, 20 TFLs, 3 forced fumbles, and he finished with 110 overall in total tackles. He's an undersized player, but he does have some rare gifts that may make him a unique exception from a size perspective. He tested off the charts at the NFL Combine. He had a 4.39 40-yard dash. It was the fastest of any edge defender. A 41.5 vertical jump. That was the best by any edge defender by more than 3.5 inches. And also, he had a 10.8 broad jump. That was the third best of his positional group. And if he plays defensive end, he's probably a little small, but again, maybe those rare gifts can make him an exception. Another possibility, as Rich Cimini noted in his column, is that he could play the quote-unquote Leo position. What that means is a standing defensive end, and that's sort of what he played in college at Georgia. Robert Saleh, of course, is familiar with that with his Seattle Seahawks ties when he was with the organization for 3 years. According to the NFL mock draft database, Nolan Smith is projected to be a first rounder. His common average slot is around 17th overall. It's kind of floated, though. There have been some people that have floated Atlanta at 8. He's also been available in the 20s before. So I guess ultimately we will see on draft day. Now, a common conception, I would assume, with a guy of Nolan Smith's size is you would say, oh boy, this guy's probably, he's an undersized player. So maybe he has some juice as a pass rusher, but he's going to get pushed around in the run game. Well, according to Lance Zierlein of NFL.com in his NFL Combine Draft profile, he said the opposite's true, actually. Quote, Smith is hard to move off his spot due to his technique and leverage, and he can be disruptive when firing into gaps. He can get off the mark as a rusher, but lacks the counters and contact balance to consistently assault the pocket at a high rate, end quote. One concern, though, from a national scout from an NFC team that spoke with Zerline said, you worry about him holding up for 17 games with his size. I'm not worried about the toughness, but I just don't know if he could carry more weight without slowing him down. Again, those elite athletic numbers, like a 4.39 40-yard dash, you're like, ooh, sexy. But if we pack on, 5, 10, 15 pounds on him, does he lose the speed? Then he kind of loses the allures of this crazy elite athlete prospect. I'll tell you this. I'm not opposed to the Jets going edge rusher in the first round because, first off, the Jets carry 10, 11 defensive linemen on the roster. Number two, the Jets use a heavy defensive line rotation, so guys are moving in and out. There's no question about it, so you need a lot of different bodies. And the Jets, again, their bread is buttered with pass rushers coming in from that perspective. The thing that kind of scares me, though, so again, I'm not opposed to an edge rusher. If some crazy edge rusher is available, maybe it's Nolan Smith, then okay, you want to take him at 13. I got no problem with trench warfare. The thing I have a problem with, though, is when you look at the measurables, you look at the tape, I'm getting some Darren Lee vibes. And I hate to put that on a man, but Darren Lee, remember, he came in with very similar numbers to Nolan Smith coming out of college, both like height, weight, size-wise, and also, statistically speaking, Nolan Smith had 4 years at Georgia. Darren Lee had 2 at Ohio State. Darren Lee's 2 years at Ohio State was even more productive than Nolan Smith. Now, each career is case by case. But when you look at the weird tweener thing, when you look at some of the numbers, I'm getting a little scared because I'm like, ooh, Is he exactly a fit for the New York Jets? And I remember a couple of times throughout history when someone did something in college and then an NFL team asked them to do something different and they had a difficulty in transitioning. Vernon Golston is a much different player because he's heavier and bigger. 6'4", he was like 256 and change coming out of Ohio State as well. But he was doing something in college, and the Jets said, hey, do this. And then he struggled with transition and just never worked out. Again, me, you, and everyone watching at home have the same amount of sacks as Vernon Golston in our careers. 0. The big donut. So I'm getting a little queasy about Nolan Smith. Again, the Georgia defense was elite and crazy, but as soon as I had the Darren Lee thought in my head, I couldn't get it out. So, guys, let me know what you think. Are you for the potential Nolan Smith dark horse crazy curveball in the 2023 NFL Draft? Let us know in the comment section down below. Also, make sure you check out the article for all the juicy deets with quotes and statistics and analytics and all that fun jazz. And, baby, it's draft week. A couple of quick plugs here. We're going to have a live draft show. It's going to be on Thursday night, 7:45. It'll be myself. I will be co-hosting with a sports comedian. You may have heard of him, Brandon Carney. Kind of a big deal. We're going to have all kinds of cool guests joining us. You guys can see that if you go to my YouTube section and go to the live tab. You can already bookmark the video if you'd like. Feel free to give it a like. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and you can watch it with us. It'll be me. It'll be Brandon on screen. We'll be bringing on cool celebrity guest players and analysts and all kinds of things, reacting to the first round of the NFL Draft. It's a watch party. Hopefully you guys can join us. And also we're going to be having great guests throughout this week on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/BoyGreen25. So hopefully you guys can get with it. It's draft week, baby, and it's great to be out of Twitter jail. So you'll be seeing some video content from me as well over there. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see you next time right here.